My beloved ones, my name is Algimantas. I live in Lithuania. It's a small country in Eastern Europe at the Baltic Sea. I usually present spiritual teachings that are more or less related to our everyday material life. Now, I would like to touch upon Creator's energy. When we speak about our creation, we have to bear in mind it is all material, even though spiritual beings inhabit it. Even God, Creator Himself, is a spirit, even the source and center of spirit, but He indwells on a material dwelling abode, and which is paradise, or just the very center of the whole of creation. So all the planets that spiritual beings perform their activities are material. So could creation be without stars, or another word, suns? Now we see just millions, billions of stars when we look at night in a clear sky. So would it be possible to have creation without stars, suns? In a way, it is not, because Creator is also the source and center of energy, and He is pouring out down upon space and into space His energy, and He is doing it not personally, but through His other children, which are called centers of power, and they are capable of manifesting Creator's energy to space, sending this energy to space. And there are other beings which are called transformers of Creator's energy. Both power centers and transformers of energy, or energy transformers, have a powerful mind. They are capable of manipulating Creator's energy. And transformers even make Creator's very high intensiveness energy into much lower, less powerful. It depends where this energy is being transmitted to, because the closer to paradise the life is going on, the closer to Creator Himself all activity is developing, the more powerful Creator's energy is being manifested and operated by power centers. So the least powerful energy expression of Creator is the sun energy, which is material. But this energy, which is, while burning everything on its path, still is the lowest among the lowest energies of Creator that have been transformed into this stage by energy transformers. And in the middle of the sun, the temperature is 35 million degrees according to Fahrenheit's scale. or 22 million degrees according to Celsius. So this, according to human vantage point, this huge energy, this huge power is burning everything on its path. And we can check it. When we stand in the hot sun, we cannot stand this heat as it is burning us. And burning grass, burning deserts. So all living beings, if there were no water around, would be incapable of living in these conditions, in such a terrible heat. So all this has been meant by Creator in His evolutionary plan, and by His evolutionary plan, that these nebulae like suns and stars would serve their purpose for such planets as ours, because this planet is meant for a material life, for mortals of two different sexes and having a material flesh, material body as their form, within which Creator is planting our spiritual and eternal personality, which is not this very body, but which is inside the body, and which is operating even Creator's energy by the material brain which is in the body. So suns and another word for suns is stars. They have, not all of them, heat. There are some sun stars made up of a special gas that is giving light but emitting no heat. It's a special gas, and this is also Creator's energy. In other words, Creator's energy might be transformed into different forms, and they are all for a certain function. And these transformers of Creator's energy perform this function of transformation of Creator's energy into a certain form according to the needs of that area where this Creator's power, energy, is being channeled. So we mortals, being spiritual beings in the flesh, during this initial lifespan, well, taking up several decades, and for some even might be a day or two on this world, and they pass away. And all this is not according to Creator's plan, because Creator has designed mortals according to His image. And this image provides a long life on this material planet and on other material planets. Over 7 trillion of such planets like ours, inhabited by mortals. So Creator's plan is meant for mortals to have a long-lasting life, even though it is initial life, but all the same, it has a very long span as against the current span on our planet. By saying a very long life term, I mean several hundred years. And all this living should be meaningful and full of top frequency vibrations of Creator's energy. So the highest frequency of Creator's energy is that which stimulates such feelings within our consciousness, which we begin to name as love. And all of a sudden, when we begin to experience these vibrations, we characterize our inner state of consciousness that we have fallen in love with some opposite sex person and spiritual personality. But since the humanity, since the mankind do not know such a thing as spiritual personality, and they do not even look upon themselves as spiritual personalities, so they characterize some material emotions, sentiments by the word love, just without even any mention of a spiritual personality. So as long as we live on our initial planets, material planets, in this human body, we need light and warmth, which are being supplied by stars, suns. And usually, one star, one sun in the solar system can provide heat and light to several material planets inhabited by mortals. In our solar system, there is only one planet, it is our planet, inhabited by humans. Because the other planets of the solar system does not host any form of life. Therefore, there is no need for scientists to look for it, because it has not been provided by Creator's evolutionary plan. And once we have a mortal life on a planet, it is not accidental mortal's physical body. It has been designed through more than 500,000 different experiments that have been carried out by higher personalities than mortals and on a higher level than our planet, just to create a life plasma that would be implanted on this planet to start an evolutionary process of life on this planet. And it is not enough to implant a life plasma. It is necessary to protect it, that it would not perish on the planet. Because all the experiments that have been carried out in a local system, which is much higher than the solar system, because one local system has 1,000 solar systems. So the local system, and ours is called Satania, has special beings who are working at the creation of life plasma that would correspond material conditions on the planet. It has been designed to be implanted. So all these conditions are being artificially introduced while making experiments with a life plasma model, with a life plasma formula. And once they consider that this is the best model for the life plasma, for that world in particular, so in this case, this life formula is being given by the head of the local system to the local universe leaders to be accepted, to be approved. So this life plasma is given to our local universe co-creators and co-leaders for approval, for acknowledgement. And these two leaders and co-creators of our local universe are Master Creator's Son, Jesus of Nazareth, and his partner, Creator Daughter, Nebuchadnezzar. So once this formula has been approved, there are special Creator's sons who either carry this formula to the planet or it has to be implanted, or the same life plasma is being redesigned according to the established pattern directly on the planet, on the planet of life plasma implantation. So all this life plasma has to receive light and warmth from the sun to be able to develop in the environment that is being made by the planet atmosphere, by the planet that has reached its development to the certain level, to the certain degree. So in this case, the environment should match the ability of the life plasma to develop on and to higher status. So this life plasma, less than a bacteria, is developing gradually, but with certain sudden leaps, qualitative leaps, from one form of energy and life to a much higher energy form and life, without any link, without any direct and visible form of a link, of a connection. And scientists are searching in vain for these links because they are not in existence at all. So the energy form that we receive through heat and light from the sun is necessary, as it has been designed by Creator, that light and warmth should be received by our planet and by all the other planets inhabited by humans directly from the sun. And plants which undergo the chemical process of photosynthesis also need this light to produce certain vitamins that are necessary for our food, for our material life, for us, for our bodies. But for our spiritual personality, we do not need this material food. We need a spiritual energy which is being passed directly from Creator, since Creator has bestowed His fragment, His Spirit, upon each of us. And this fragment, this Spirit, is called the thought adjuster, as He is adjusting our thoughts while our consciousness is disconnected during our sleep. So Creator is passing top frequency vibrations, love vibrations, by means of the operation of His Spirit, thought adjuster, within our subconsciousness and consciousness. And while we are directly communing with Creator through our superconsciousness, while worshiping Creator, and while we are engaged in a petition prayer, we are also opening and using our superconsciousness. And spiritual vibrations are reaching our personality through this channel of communication. Thus, our material flesh cannot be without the sun energy, which has been, as I have just mentioned before, Creator's energy that has been transformed into the lowest form that might be used for our needs, while spiritual energy of Creator is being poured by Creator Himself through His fragment, through His Spirit, our thought adjuster, through our superconsciousness, as well as subconsciousness, to our spiritual personality. And if we open up, thanks to certain teachings, or thanks to certain spiritual teachers, so that we would know that we can open up directly to Creator. So once we open up to Creator, we begin to feel and even experience different states of our consciousness. And if we begin to feel direct intake of Creator's top frequency vibrations, we begin to experience love within, love for Creator and for our brethren, and even love for the opposite sex person is also the same love of Creator. Only it's being directed to the definite person, to a definite person of an opposite sex. Thus, just to wind up what I was telling you, creation has been designed by Creator with stars, and this energy is being used by us, material beings of a spiritual personality status. And even the evolutionary plan that has been designed by Creator is, to the greatest extent, has been designed for us mortals, because He is playing this game by enlightening those of His children, sons and daughters, who are furthest away from Him, just on the very outer edge of the current grand universe, that is, at the remotest part of creation. And they are being spiritually led from within, since they are also spiritual personalities. That's why they are capable, under the leadership of spiritual teachers, of establishing a spiritual and direct contact with Creator Himself. Therefore, we are capable not only of worshiping Creator and praying to Him, but we are capable of directly talking with Creator, speaking out our mind, our heart, and receiving His teachings, receiving His advice, and feeling His leading from within, so that we should follow this leading. And this is what our spiritual personalities do. Once we are in an ever-growing opening to Creator and in an ever stronger living communion with Him. So in this case, we are feeling an ever-increasing amount of spiritual vibrations of Creator's love. And this is stimulating us. And our state of mind, state of consciousness, is becoming like a reflection of Creator's spiritual character, spiritual qualities. And in this case, we begin to assess in reality what is Creator's love, what is Creator's justice, what is Creator's truth, what is Creator's beauty and goodness. And we do strive to implement these qualities in our everyday life to all. And this is the meaning of our living, as has been designed by Creator by His evolutionary plan. So much this time. I leave you in Creator's peace and bliss, and in my brotherly, fatherly embrace.